Hey guys, Professor Paul Comic Book University and X-Force issue number 19. Nothing in my hands, nothing up my sleeve. I actually forgot this book. I forgot to show it in the This Week in Comics video. Just happens. Sometimes it just happens. But I'm actually okay with that because I don't need this book in my collection. This was not a great book. On any aspect, I really just didn't like this book. I'm going to explain all this stuff after I tell you who made the book. So Benjamin Percy is the writer. The artist is Gary Brown. Gura effects on colors. Letters, VC's Joe Caramagna. Tom Mueller doing the design, and Joshua Cassara and Dean White doing the artists. Jonathan Hickman is the head of X, so this is all his fault. And yeah, I'm messing around. I'm not trying to make this personal about anybody. Listen, usually Benjamin Percy writes a pretty good story. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I'm not really enjoying his Wolverine too much, and I'm really not liking this issue of X-Force. Meanwhile, the rest of X-Force, I'm loving it. You heard me. I've been saying positive things about this all the time, you know? But here, this story was just kind of weak, man. There's a version of Quentin that is, but it's a cloned version of him, and there's cloned versions of everybody all tied up someplace, and that's what's actually been killing people, and he's got to go and he's got to take this thing down, but he can't, but he can, but he has to, so he will, but he won't, so he needs the cuckoo Phoebe with him to do it, so he can, but he can't, and like, it's just a bunch of runaround. You think that, Professor, you're really oversimplifying this. Yes, that's the problem. Now try reading the comic book with exactly what I just said, but with all the complications that they try to needlessly put in. And on top of that, bro, as much as I like what Gary Brown's been doing, I really did not like his art in this at all. Look, if the art that happened in this book was only in the astral plane or specifically the dreamscape, that would have been okay. Either or both of those. But this was the whole book, so this was just the style he chose for this book. Dude, the men's faces weren't great, but like the women and everybody in this, aside from Quentin, pretty much was a woman. All the women in this book, their faces looked like, look, I remember my sister-in-law and my cousin-in-law, they would do what a lot of women nowadays do on Instagram. They give you the smiling eyes pose. And we've all seen it. Every single one of us has seen it. That look where it's like, okay, here's what you can do. I want you to smile, but then I want you to make your whole entire face relax, but keep your eyes that way. Dude, if somebody could do that in real life, like really actually do that in real life, you'd be a mutant. You'd belong on Krakoa. But like, come on. Like, and have we ever tried that? I've tried it. I've sat there and I just like, I try to keep my eyes like that, and you just look ridiculous, you know? But they used to do that, and I remember them asking, like, how you like some of those pictures that we do and blah, 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 on Instagram, because, they're pretty cool, right? And all that, because, like, they went to Morocco, and they went and did all these cool things and whatnot, and I'm like, it reminds me of if someone made a perfect facsimile of your faces out of wax, and then put those wax heads, which look exactly like you, in a greenhouse on a hot summer day. Because it would, like, all of it, symmetrically, it would all symmetrically melt at the same time. And that's what your faces look like when you're doing that. I'm very proud that they thought so highly of my opinion for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm glad they did, because they stopped doing those stupid pictures. Because, man, those were stupid pictures. And that's the art that I saw in here. They all the women looked like melted wax. They're all just, they all looked like their faces were melting. Anybody ever have those wax lips when you were a kid? They're just like, they were stupid, but that's what we had, because it was either that or bazooka bubble gum, and you always hurt your teeth on those. But it's cool, because chompers chew, chew, chew. Bro, like everybody looked like they had wax faces. It was horrible. The art in this book, the women's faces were terrible. Everything else was acceptable. Everything else was okay. But like shadows where there's no need to be shadows, there's one image in there. You know how they're always talking about, in this book, in one of the white pages, they talk about every artist decides to try and hide something cool inside the art, because they were talking about Colossus, even though Colossus wasn't actually in this book, which was really weird. But there's this one white page in here where they're talking about Colossus and his art, and people are buying his art at galleries, at galas, and they're saying the purchasers, they're all saying, it feels like the artist is speaking to me because every artist draws something cool, some hidden message in their art. Okay. So I didn't go out of my way to look for it in freaking Gary Brown's work because I was thinking about it. I'm just like, I could barely look at this. The women's face, they're horrible. But I do feel like I found something in here. I think I found Pumpkinhead. And it was in all the women's faces. Dude, like, really just not good. And again, this is nothing personal against anybody in this book. But, like, I've seen Brown do better than this. I've seen him do a lot better than this. And I don't know what this style was, but it is what it is. As far as the hidden message, I'm pretty sure that there was a scene in here where Jean Grey had maybe 6 vaginas. I know, you're thinking, that's silly. Look towards the end of the book. One of the pages of Jean. You can see like her body and right there. And you're looking in there. The way that the shadows were done, it looks like she has about 6. I didn't count them because I'm just like, this is really weird. I'll let Wolverine and Cyclops. That I have no interest in doing that though. Yeah, this was not a great book, writing or art at all. I didn't feel this book, but it felt like there was some closure to this part of the storyline. So, yay. Can we move on to something better? Because this wasn't good. This wasn't good. I want to go back to the actual Cthulian mythos stuff. I want to see Wolverine trying to kill a god. Yeah, and maybe no women in this if Gary's going to keep on drawing like this, because, no. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Talk to you later. Like the video and watch an ad on your way out, yeah? Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.